Welcome back to my second tutorial for Rally. Um, I guess I can hide this one. It's good. No, I'll delete this one. I hope I don't require this, but we'll figure it out. If we require, we can create one more. So this is my Rally cloud tools. This is cloud based and. Remember in the previous class we have created a user story. So that was we talked about this dashboard for 15 minutes or something, and then we went to this plan section, went through user story, and first actually we need to understand this which project, and then we went to this plan, and then we talked about this parent and child user stories. So my user stories is US 198 development and testing. Okay, so here what we'll try to do is let's say development is done. Let's see, let's try to understand that development is done now. Windows has still development now. Now what we'll do here is as a testing perspective. Of course, you can also work as a development perspective, but we'll go to task here pretty quick. Now we'll discuss about revisions. Whatever you do to make changes, the history gets saved here. We talked about discussion, these two tabs. We'll go talk about this task tab right now. Great. Go ahead and click on that. Okay, now let's take an example here. Let's say the developer has I'm sorry, not just developer, don't have to be developer or tester, but I'm just saying even if developer is there and they have their unit test cases, that they can write their unit test cases. So this is not appropriate place to write test cases. This is the task. The difference between the task and test cases in specific to Rally is task has time, test cases doesn't. Test cases has steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, and you execute it. So that's a major difference here actually, technically in Rally specifically. So I'm going to create a task here. Normally these tasks are created by leads or your boss, Scrum Master, or some places you might have to create all by yourself. Sorry about that, you have to create it. Yes. Now nobody is going to tell you what to test. Let's say okay, let's take it about as a tester. I'm a tester, sorry about it, and I will be more talking about testing perspective. So I'm going to add a new task here. So what is the task? So let's say I have this website. Remember we went to this website, Now there are various testing that we as a tester, they do is with these various tests: smoke testing, sanity testing, functional testing, integration and system integration testing. Okay, some part we do, some part is done by the developers, right? And then you have this performance testing, then you have load stress. Okay, we'll not go in detail in that, that's for enough. What we'll do here in specific is here we'll do functional testing. Let's talk about this functional testing. So what I'm doing here is there's a regression testing again there is a UAT, user acceptance testing. We'll not go in all this in detail because we don't have time, and if I don't do here, take it as a homework because I have said so many testings, right? Sorry. So you can take it as a homework, do it as a homework. So smoke testing. Oh, by the way, the difference between the smoke testing and functional testing, actually there's two different things, but I would take it as smoke testing doesn't have test cases and functional testing do. So we'll create a task here first before going to test cases. We want to write test cases, but we will go to task and create a new task. What task we'll do? We will create functional testing for GMO online. Okay, this is what this is. And I want to create add with details, because not just thing we want to add more information here. Okay, just by doing that is not enough. Okay, so always remember, so this state is very important. You want to change it in planning. You have the same thing blocked, you don't want to block it. If it is ready here, go ahead and click on ready. Task estimation, let's say I will take 10 hours to test. Color is up to you, whatever color you want. I don't think any company has restrictions to color. If they do, make sure you follow that then. I don't think it's this. So okay, so there's a description here, there's an attachment, and there's a notes similar to what we have done. Oh, I don't know why this thing appeared here, but we'll not worry about it. Okay, we'll talk about this description here. You can put the description. What I'll put here is to test functionality of GMO online project. So we are doing this functional testing only specifically. And now I'll change this to this is not required. This I like this color, so I use blue color. So I will not be using all this. Most of this you can still use it, it's up to you. For me it's not required, but let's find out. But you can do it, you can utilize this, but for now, if you're doing this, let's say you are doing smoke testing, I'll just put it out here for your ease of convenience. Smoke testing, sanity testing. Nobody should tell you that what testing should be done. If you are a tester, you're supposed to know all this. Okay, smoke testing, sanity testing, user acceptance testing. Okay, if you are a developer, let's take if you are as a developer, then you need to write as unit tester, unit testing, SIT testing. So those 2-3 testings will be there. You still have to write test cases. This is a task, this is not a test case, this is a task which is supposed to be given by lead or your boss, but in some cases, rare scenarios, you also have to create this sometimes. Okay, user acceptance testing and then regression testing. So regression testing is very interesting, but we'll not go here. So I'll just put it like this and go ahead and click on create. Now this has been successfully created and revision got changed. Click on done. So if I see here, there is a task here. Now what happens is this is it. This is the owner. You can change the owner. Let's say your lead has this ID is assigned for you, TA311. Okay, TA means task, US means user story. Okay, that's how the naming convention goes. Okay, the owner of the task is normally the person who execute the test cases, supposed to that guy. But in rare scenarios, the task will be the different. The test case, the person who write the test case will be different. Rare scenarios that also could happen, but we are not looking for that. Okay, now you can assign this who is the respective owner of this task. Okay, and once you have done that, you can click on done. Okay, great. Now what happens is, if you see here, this gets updated. You see here, this 10 got updated, but we told 20, right? Remember, we told 20, but we are doing for 10. Good. We'll figure it out that later. Now what happens is, if you go to this dashboard, let's go to our home. supposed to be. I supposed to get this my task here. It's supposed to have this, but there is no. But you know, guess what? We can get this by using filters. Let's find out. We have to use how to use this filter. But let's go. This is a noise filter. Oh, okay, good. No, this doesn't work out. And actually supposed to be based on the user story. So let's say my user story is if I put owner, oh my god, I'll have so many, but this is really good. Maybe I'll try this. Add filter, oops, and operator is equal to match filter in any, and then I want to go ahead and this is supposed to show up something at least. Oh, here you go. Yep. But it's not showing anything here for some reason. Let's clear this. It's supposed to show all this, but yeah. So normally once you created this task, my task is supposed to show up here, but for some reason it's not showing up. We created this field too, so okay, never mind. So that's how you actually create this field. It's normally supposed to show it. See the access levels, based on this access levels you get to see that. So once you do that, we go back to our user story right here. Oh, actually you can go, you see here this number 1 got added. Now you can create a number of tasks. Let's say you are only doing functional testing. Let's say I can create one more task. Let's create one more task. How do we do that? Go ahead and click here, and I'll put as regression testing. Now, oops. Sorry, spelling mistake. Regression testing for Gmo Online, and add with details. And for now, I'll just put as defined because this is not ready, and I'll put as 10. Regression testing. Oh, I got used to this. Too bad. Okay, regression testing for Gmo Online. Okay, and go ahead and click here, and this I just like blue color. Oh, okay. This will be this small. So you again you can add this task. There are a few tags, not task, tags. Here I use this Gmo and Gmo Online, and that should do good. Okay, great. These tags are like whenever for your search purpose. Actually, whenever you are searching it, those tags are useful. Otherwise, no use. So this is my parent, and this is all good. And I'll go ahead and create. Okay, so it says like regression testing for Gmo has been changed. Okay, great. Now let's see here. If you see here, there are 2 tasks now. Now this is in defined state. That means we are not ready yet. My function, you cannot do regression testing before functional testing. It's not possible. First, development has to be done. Then after development, you have to do this smoke testing if required. Okay, and then you have to start with functional testing. So there's a lot of work to do. All right. So that's the reason this is defined. I don't want to move this in progress because there is no point if functional testing is not done. Okay, so that's all about this task, and this task is normally created by the lead, or as I told you, sometimes you have to also create this task. So and now if you see this, look at the revision, a lot of things, 17 updates, it's a lot of things going on. So you see right here who is doing what. So your boss will be looking to this very carefully, so you have to be very careful when you're doing this, why this is changed, why it is blocked, and all those stuff. Okay, oops, we will go back again, we'll go back here in this, and now this is the action time. We'll go to test cases, this tab. We'll just go ahead and, so we are not writing test cases for regression in this class for now, but we'll write test cases for as a functional tester. So let's say I'm a tester, right? I'm a tester, so I'll be writing a test case. So here when you click on this tab, it shows nothing, right? This nothing. Okay, so I want to create my test cases, right? What I want to do is I hover my mouse over this action. See this action, you don't even have to click it, you just want to hover it. Hover your mouse and click here, new test case. Once you do that, make sure your pop-up window is good, is pop-up window is unblocked, and all this stuff should be unblocked. And once you get into it, this pop-up window shows up. I can maximize it, and I want to put it as, I'll change this, guess what, I'll just put, that's what I want to change, not much. Tags, the same tags you're going to use. Gmo, here's Gmo Functional Testing, Gmo Online. Good. Now this is an option for attachment. We'll go to this in detail here a little bit, because we have this time. I'll take more time for this one, but we'll see here how to do this. Okay, we'll just see here functional testing, Gmo Online. In description, what we want to do is description to test functionality and features of Gmo Online project. Oops, sorry. You can use, so I'm using this as a application. This is web application which I have developed, not I have developed, but this is an application which I need to write my test cases. So that's the reason I'm using this. Okay, so good. Okay, so it's good. If you have any attachments, you can add the attachment. At this point of time, I really don't have any attachment to attach it, but you can do this. And this owner of the test case is normally the person who created the test case. Normally, unless you're working for a big corporation like Google or Amazon, in some places, in some companies, you will be writing test cases forever, and one guy will be testing that forever. So that will be some scenarios. But here in this case, normally the person who have written the test cases will execute the test. We also will execute it, so we'll go to that. So what's the objective? Actually, you know what? This description can be an objective. To test all the functionality and features of a Gmo Online project. Description is to write the test cases for, to functional test cases. Let's put to functional test cases for Gmo Online. Okay, and now here what you see, so this red color are mandatory. If you want to expedite, you can expedite by clicking on this tick box, expedite. Here we don't require that, so we don't do that here right now. So if you think that this is a different project which you have assigned, you can change the project here if you have access. If you don't have access, this doesn't even show up for you, so don't worry about it. Then work product, you can change the work product. That means which user story does this test case belongs to. See, this is interlinked. Okay, whenever you're writing a test cases, for what user story, which user story, so that's a question, right? So this is the answer. This is the user story, and I'm writing test cases for this. What type of, oh great, here we are. What type of test cases you are writing for? Here in this case we are writing for functional. As I told you, there's performance, regression, usability, user interface, okay, acceptance. We'll go for functional. Okay, we'll take it as functional. And method, what method? Is it automated? As I told you, we have regression, right? Regression are normally automated, so in this case we are going as a manual. Sorry. Then we have this priority. So we will just put it as important, and risk medium. Actually, there is something called priority and severity. So it's kind of priority. Priority is severity. There's two different terms here: priority and severity. Severity means the impact of bug. Let's say if you have created a defect, so that is related for bug, not for the test case. We are writing test case here, right? But there's still the still the similar concept shows up here. Priority. Why? How much priority you are giving is useful. Sometimes it's production issues, and you want to write test cases production. I personally have never written test cases for production. I mean, who tests for production? Nobody does that actually. But there might be scenario when you do that, so it will be, the priority will be very critical. So here we'll just put precondition. That's good. What's the precondition for this? Let's say the code should be deployed in test environment, right? We cannot start testing if the code is not there in the testing environment. So let's you're not sure, I didn't talk about these environments, right? There are three major environments. There is dev environment where developer develops the application. There is a test environment where testers test the application. There is a production environment where customer uses the application. Nobody has access to that except some specialized team people who are working on it. So okay, so the code, so this is a precondition. Code should be deployed in test environment. We are not going to test in dev environment. It's not our job. Oh, maybe you might have to do that, I'm not sure, but it depends on the project. But here in this scenario, we just put as code should be deployed in test environment. And what's the second scenario? Does anyone knows? Smoke testing should be completed. You cannot do functional testing if the smoke testing is not done. I mean, it's based on the project basically, how the project is and how the way the design of the project. But in this case, let's take smoke testing should be completed. Okay, and I like this blue color, so I'll just put this blue color. Here we go. Here we'll just write this. Okay, before going to test cases, we'll just go to here. Post conditions, right? All right. So we have this post conditions. So does anyone knows what the post condition is? The post condition is regression testing should be completed. Okay, and the second is code should be deployed in production. After regression, let's say we'll add one more. Actually, we'll just add performance testing should be completed. I mean, it depends on the project totally, to be honest, but here I'm just giving as a example, but not really this should be a scenario, not always. It depends completely on project. Code should be deployed in production. Oops. Got used to lot of this spelling mistakes, so okay. And okay, this notes keep showing up, not sure why, but okay. Now this is the fun part here. Now we have to write test cases in this case. Now what you want to do here is there's a input sorry, and there is expected result. So what are you inputting it here and what is you expecting here? Okay, that's a very good question. Now let's say this is my application, as we in previous class we were talking about this, right? demo.borland.com testing application. Now here's the thing, what I'll do is validation input, enter the URL. What's the URL? Now okay, here's the thing, I'm writing test cases for now for the Chrome. Let's say you want to write test cases for Chrome browser, for Firefox, for Apple Safari, okay, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, so on and so forth. I'm not worried about that one for now. That is your homework, take it as a homework. Here in this case, what I'm trying to say here is enter the URL https demo.borland in the Chrome browser. I'm writing for Chrome browser, remember. I am not writing for Firefox. I'm not worried at this point of time for any other browser. I'm worried only about Chrome browser. But to test a web application, you have to test for all other browsers. One browser is not enough, doesn't work. Even see, here's the thing, if the code works in one browser, doesn't mean that it has to work in other browser. In other browser it might get screwed up, so you don't want that. Alright, now enter the URL in the Chrome browser. Now what is the expected result? Can anyone guess? The expected result is home page of Gmo online should be displayed. That is my expected result. Alright, that's how it should be. So what I'm saying is I'm writing a test case. That means put that URL. So what's the test case shows? Enter the URL demo.pl in the Chrome browser. I'm sorry, and hit enter or something, or that's the option you have. That's what I'm doing here, and I'll just put it here and hit enter, and home page of Gmo online. That's good. That's what is supposed to show up. If it's not showing up, then that's a bug, right? All right. So that was just an introduction. Now here you see here the steps. Now I want to start writing my test cases. This was just a startup, right? Just to start, I'll show you 5 steps. Remaining is your homework. You have to do this homework. I mean, you can use the same user story and you can continue it. You can create a user test case, a new test case in your name, and you can do it. So okay, so you see this icon here, click on this action step. Alright, so here you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what it does is, if I click on one, a pair of field shows up, 2 boxes shows up. if I hit 2, that means 2 boxes. And then for an example, I'll just take as 1. Let's see what happens. This thing gets refreshed, and here is the thing, input and expected, the same thing what we have done. Okay, so what is the input? Let's say I'm trying to test the, see, here's the thing, when you're testing you have to test everything, but when you're writing a test case, it is on high level. That means, what does it mean by high level? Means it doesn't cover everything, but audit review will see that. Audit review is very important. So you want to test everything, but test cases will be in high level. Okay, that's good to know. Now what we'll do here, I'm sorry, we'll just close this. Let's say I'm clicking this button. So what I'll write here is, after this, enter URL, we have done this, right? Enter URL and Gmo Homeland pages displayed, good. What I'll do here is click on enter Gmo Online button. Enter Gmo Online button, right? This is my test case. Let's click, well, let's see what happens. So the page is navigated to online catalog page. So what is my result? Page should be navigated to online catalog page, right? That's good. Okay, this is my first test step. Okay, so here's the thing, when you're writing in test cases, this is 3 things you want to consider. You want to write for positive scenario, negative scenario, and boundary values. So we are not doing everything here right now, and there's cosmetic changes too. You want to see that too, because this is not really a QA class. This is actually introduction, this is a tool, usage of the tool, so I'm not giving the whole information how to open a defect. Sorry, that will be a different QA class that you want to go here, different. So here I'll cover only the basics, what is required to use this tool. Okay, now once I'm done this, I want one more field. This field is not enough, so I'll go ahead and click again to this one. Again I have this option 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go ahead again and click 1. So the page gets refreshed, that's good. The second step, this is second step, right? Second step for my test case. Now what it shows, now I'm browsing here, so I'll just put it here. So what I'll do here is enter the value 10 for 3% dome tent. Enter the value for 3% dome tent in the order quantity field. Sorry, here you see this order quantity field. This is order quantity field. So enter the value 10 for 3% dome tent in the order quantity field. Okay, so what's the expect, I'm sorry, and click on place an order button. Okay, I'll just click on this place an order button. Place an order. Place an order button. So what happens? What is the expected result for this? The expected result is, let's find out. Okay, so we get pages navigated to place order page. You see here, place order page. So what I'll put it here is page is navigated to place order page. Okay, So this is my second test step. I'll just put, we'll do 3 more and we'll close this class. So I'll start again, click on this again, click on 1. Now now there's a problem. See the problem here? This is my first test case and this is my second test step. So I want to take it, but this showed up in between. I don't want that because this is not my second step, this is supposed to be third step. Now what I'll do here is I can go ahead and change this to move step down. The moment I do this, and now it looks good. This is my first step, now this is my second step, and now this is done. That's the problem when you use this thing. Be careful on that. Okay. Now what I'll do here is click on proceed with order button. Click on proceed with order button. Okay, what happens? Let's find out. The page is navigated to billing and information page. Billing information page. Okay. Information. Okay. The page is navigated to billing information page. Now I want to write fourth step. Now I don't want to go ahead again here and do this because it will show up in between. Now there is an option here. What I'll do here is I'll go ahead and click on this, which is located in the second field value, and here I have this option too. I can do this here. This is good because this will show up. If I click from here, it will show up in the next line. So I don't have this problem of moving my test case here and there. So see here, this is my fourth step, and my steps are not screwed up. Before you saw that when I'm using this too much, my test cases were screwing up. Okay, good. Now what's my fourth thing? I'll pre-fill all this. You know what? I just need this credit card. Make them test credit card. I'll use this one. So I use this one for just for information, and the expiry is 12/19. So there's an option of, if your billing address is different to shipping address, you want to fill up this too. If it is same, you can use the same here. Okay, now what's this all about? Fourth step is fill up all the information in the billing information page. Okay, and click on place the order button. Okay, so fill up all the information and click on place the order button. So what happens? Let's see. So online receipt store. So page is, what happens is page is navigated to online, online store receipt. I have this capital letter, I'm not sure why, but online store receipt page. Okay, this is my fourth step. Now I want to write one more step and pull this, show it here, and the same thing. You have this right option with this box and click on one. The page gets refreshed and you get this fifth box shown up here. And in this case, we're return to home page button. Remember, you see here, So we'll just click on that button. Click on return to home page button. Right? So what it's supposed to do? With any guess? So home page of Gmo online should be displayed. Really? So this is really working. We'll check it out. Return to the home page. Yes, Gmo home page of Gmo online is showing up. That's good. Okay. Now once you have done it, writing test cases, click save and close. Great. Once you have done this, you see this is options, a lot of options. This is which user story. I'm sorry, this is my this is the user story. This is my test cases, functional testing. You see this in bracket, and this is important. Who is the owner? Verdict we have not run yet. We have 3 boxes here. I guess we have to go through this in the next class because we are running out of time. Now I want to edit this. We have not done yet. Oh, the reason why I'm saying we are not done yet because we want to get into details, a little bit more information on this. Go ahead and click on. You have this 3 box, right? You have to generate result. That we'll do in the next class. Probably if I have time, I'll do it by today, or I will see. Tomorrow is Friday. I wanted to start this Monday, but I had this paper a little bit working on my papers, actually research papers. So okay, so what happens is you have 3 boxes here, with the result and the edit and copy. You can copy this. Let's say we have done for Chrome. Guess what? We can change that. You have to do for Safari. You have to do for Apple Safari. Okay, Apple Safari. You have to do for Firefox. You have to do for Microsoft Edge, and so on and so forth. Mobile testing, iPad, iPhone, Android, so on, etc., etc. So what I'll do is go ahead and click it, edit. And I want to again, I don't know why this 2 times edit. Okay, here we'll just edit it here, and I'll just put it Chrome. Chrome browser. Will be specific here. Now, what I'll do here is in this step, right? Okay, so we'll in this step. It's very important, or you can preconditions. We'll do it in step. There's a lot of things to do, right? Guess what? You can do this validation input. You know what? You can put it here. It doesn't matter technically. You can put anywhere, but here, what we'll do it here. We'll just put it here for ease of convenience. So this is test case is high level. That means you have to test everything in this page, not just one button. You have just tested one button here, and you have done nothing in this fields. These all fields should be tested, right? You're doing nothing here in these test cases. So you have to do the testing because if you are a tester, the reason you're hired as a tester because you want to take bugs, right? You want to take defects. That's the reason you get hired, right? So now what you want to do is you want to write some information right here. Because even if your boss is good, there will be an audit review. If your audit review, they will go check each and every test cases, and if they find that the test cases doesn't suffice for their requirement, they'll catch you where this was tested, when it was tested, why it was not tested. Sorry. So all these questions will be overwhelming for you. So what you want to do is you want to make sure tested for passive scenarios, So we'll talk about this in the next class actually. um, Tested for negative values, negative scenarios, tested for boundary values, let's say boundary values too, because guess what, you have these numbers, right? um, then um, tested for cosmetic scenarios are like, let's say for example, this is a blue color, it should be in green color, all this will be there in the requirement, and this image should be in the right side, but it's in the left side. All those issues are the cosmetic issues. And sorry, and the spelling mistakes, there might be some spelling mistakes, all those things should be covered. So what you want to do is, you want to put this, because we have not covered everything, right? Guess what, I'll put this here in my first test case, so that you can put anywhere, but I'm just putting here. Tested for positive scenario, negative scenarios, boundary values, because audit reviews, they will check everything, okay? But since test cases are high level document prepared by the tester, so these things will be missed completely. And you want to test this, guess what, you want to test this for one value, for 1,000 value, 10,000 values, how it is working, all those things you want to test it. But we are not doing here. That's not good, because your boss will check all this thing and see, and they'll question you why it was not done, okay? And once you have completed this, click save and close. Guess what, I'll stick to this thing. Is not looking good actually, so it's kind of hard to put here, because we are writing test cases not. So what I'll do here is I'll put end of this, so this should be good. Click on save and close, so this should be good. So what validation you have done? Tested for positive scenarios, negative scenarios, boundary values, cosmetic scenarios. Okay. So these are the test cases you can write. And supposed to change to Chrome browser, of course. And now, if you go home, I can go home and see. Let's see if there is any. This is not working, so we'll just close this. I wonder, this should at least owner should at least okay, it's not even working for owner. It's too bad. Okay, supposed to work. I guess you can code here. This here you go. So there is small coding here actually, that is, that's the reason it's not showing up. So what I'll do is choose a project and here, so and save here. Should be good now. Or else you have to manipulate a little bit of code there. There is a little bit of code where you do that. It's not working. But I used to do a lot of change a little bit code here, and that's how I was able to get this task shown up here. There's a little bit change in the code actually. Let's try to do here is you can get query help from here and see if you can use these queries. I did the same thing actually. I use this query and put it here, and you can see your task. That's how you can make sure. So we are not done yet. This was our second lecture for um, the for function for creating test cases. So this is for basically for the test cases. We have created test cases for the Chrome browser. Let me show you one thing. You can create test case. Let's say I want to create test case for Firefox. Let's say I want to create test case. So what I'll do here is just copy this, because the test case remains same. What I'll do here is I'll just this is Firefox. I'll just change here to Firefox, and guess what? That's all I'll do here. And I'll just click on save and close. Oops, see, I made a mistake. I keep telling people and I do the same thing. Too bad. Okay, we want to remove this copy of this Google thing is really giving me a headache. Okay, click on that and click on, now it should be good. Now if you go into, go to this user story and click on here, and here if you see this, here you see this two of my test cases, both are same, but this is for Chrome browser, this is for Firefox. I can copy that again. Let's do one more again for ease of your understanding. For Safari browser, no, I don't want this. And what I'll do is Safari browser, and now this should be supposed to be tested on Mac, but we don't have Mac right now. So, but for when you're working for the company, they will give you that one. So save and exit. Okay, so that's how I can create test cases for this. That's pretty much. We'll run this test case. We have done nothing, we have just created a test case. Next class we will run this test case. I'm running out of time. We don't want to move this for more than 1 hour, because my file, but the file is like 2 GB, because this recording is taking like because I'm recording in MP4 is having some problems, so I'm recording in AVI. So the file length is like in GBs, 1 GB, 2 GB, 3 GB. So I don't want to take too much of length, too much of time. Yours too, you might have got bored listening it, and also the file length gets increased. That gives a problem for Udemy to upload it. So I'll end this class for now, and we'll see to how to run this test case. Okay, the next class will be next class we'll talk about how to run this test case, and that will be today for me. I'll complete that today. Hopefully that will be short. Tomorrow we'll cover defects. Tomorrow is too much work. We have to cover defects as well as the reports. Okay, 2 things. So no, am I missing something else? Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll figure it out, and we'll just close this class for today. And I hope you like this class, and I'll see you in the next class. Thanks for watching.